Experience the Schwinn Fastback, a road bike that's nimble, agile, and smooth, all wrapped into one. If you're entering the world of fitness riding, starting to experience longer group rides and need to keep up with the pack, or thinking about training for a century ride, the lightweight Schwinn Fastback is the perfect bike for you. Like any road bike, the Fastback line is designed to be comfortable and efficient on longer distance rides. The hallmark model is the Fastback Carbon. What used to be only accessible for elite race cyclists is now available for all riders. Imagine how it'll feel when you're part of the breakaway, putting time between you and the rest of the group. Lightweight, comfortable, and responsive, the Fastback Carbon features a Schwinn enlightened Black Label carbon frame and tapered steerer fork, full Shimano 105 11-speed drivetrain and brake set, and Alex R500 double wall rims with Kenda Criterium tires. The performance is built in. You'll instantly feel the lightweight efficiency in every pedal stroke. The Fastback 1 features a Schwinn enlightened platinum hydroformed aluminum road frame, lightweight carbon fork, and full Shimano 105 drivetrain. The Fastback 2 and 3 are also great options. Both are built with Schwinn Enlightened 3 triple-butted tubing and Schwinn Sport components. The Fastback 2 comes equipped with a Shimano Sora drivetrain, and the Fastback 3 comes with a Shimano Claris drivetrain. Both offer a complete, comfortable, ready-to-ride package that will provide you with years of cycling enjoyment. Each Fastback model is available in extra small to extra large frame sizes. You can ride confidently since you know and trust Schwinn quality. Enjoy the freedom of riding a Schwinn.
Biking is a great way to commute, and having the right bike makes a huge difference. The Hanen 1 is a women-specific bike that is ready to take on your bike commute and any other ride you want to go on. Shifting is unfussy with a reliable Shimano 1x9 drivetrain. This gives you an ample gear range for steep hills and fast flats. These 700x38C tires feature a reflective sidewall for added visibility and a tread designed to improve traction on wet roads. They're mounted on double wall rims that will last for years. The durable steel fork offers precise steering inputs and dampens road vibrations. It also can accept a rack and fenders. The Hanen 1 has a flat bar that makes for a comfortable upright riding position, allowing you to see and be seen while in traffic. Stopping in a hurry is a need on busy streets sometimes, and these mechanical disc brakes are reliable and strong, even in the wet. Best of all, the Hanen 1 ships Ready Ride, so with just 4 assembly steps you can hit the road and ride even sooner.
A bike that is fast and comfortable isn't a myth. Our women's 𝗟𝗶𝗀𝗏 is built to best fit women riders. It has a shorter top tube, a more relaxed head tube angle, and female-specific bike parts, including the saddle, bar, and stem. The frame features endurance geometry called EPG. This design puts you in a more upright position to reduce fatigue without compromising performance for all-day rides. The 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏 has a hand-built monocoque carbon frame designed to be light and incredibly strong. This construction process is borrowed from our pro-level road bikes and results in an increased power transfer. Sculpted seat stays dampen road vibrations, and closed-circuit cable routing features clean lines that are Di2 compatible. The 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏 rolls on stiff 12mm through axles and head Flanders wheels. Head built these wider wheels to accommodate larger 28C tires. This provides a softer, more plush ride and offers a larger contact patch for more traction without significant drag. This top carbon endurance model comes with race-level components, including a 2x11 Shimano Ultegra drivetrain, a carbon fork with a stiff tapered steerer tube, and Shimano's powerful hydraulic disc brakes to stop you no matter how steep the slope. All this wraps into a light, comfortable ride, making it a great jack-of-all-trades road bike for everything from quick afternoon rides to multi-day charity events, giving you all the speed you need without breaking your body.
Fixie. First, remove the bike and parts while saving the box. Then cut any zip ties or padding off the bike. Take the rear wheel and loop your chain around the cog or freewheel and secure the chain on the front chain ring before mounting. Then insert the rear axle between the dropouts and put tension on your wheel towards the rear of the bike while you tighten the axle nut. Now you can mount the bike on the edge of the box while you work on it. Now remove your stem faceplate using a 4mm hex wrench and mount your handlebars. But don't tighten it down too much yet, you'll have to adjust them later. While installing your seat post, make sure you add some grease where it will be inserted and on the seat post itself. Loosen the seat post clamp with a 5mm hex wrench, then insert the seat post. Adjust it to your preferred height, then tighten securely. Remove your pedals from the accessories box and use your finger to work in some grease into the pedal threads. Make sure you install the pedal marked L on the non-drivetrain side of the bike. The left pedal is reverse threaded, so it goes in counterclockwise. The pedal marked R goes on the drivetrain side and threads in clockwise. After you thread each pedal by hand, tighten them securely with a 15mm pedal wrench. Take your front wheel and unscrew each axle nut until you have enough space to mount it on the fork. Now remove your bike from the edge of the box and set the fork on the front axle while securing it with a 15mm wrench. Once again, loosen the stem pinch bolts with a 5mm hex wrench. You need to make sure that your front wheel is lined up straight. After you've done this, you can retighten your stem bolts. Before riding your bike, loosen the stem faceplate and make sure your handlebars are in a comfortable riding position. After this is done, tighten the bolts in a cross pattern once again. Before riding, perform a safety check including proper operation of the brakes before going out and having fun on your new 6KU Fixie.
Welcome to the Highland Fine Craft Cycles family. It may take you about 20 minutes to assemble this bike. It begins by unpacking it from the box. Make sure all the tools and accessories are in package. The required tools for install are a number 4 and number 5 hex or Allen wrench, cross screwdriver and number 15 wrench. It would be better if you have a Phillips screwdriver and vice grips or lineman's pliers. Step 1. Assemble the handlebar. Rotate the stem 180 degrees clockwise. It's very important, or the front wheel might hit your foot when riding. Then put the line to this place. Using the number 4 hex, unscrew the bolts on the stem and remove the stem cover. Then place the handlebar on the stem. Just put the screws into the 4 holes, fasten the screws as the order we shown. Notice, but not too tight, because we will back to adjust it after finish the front wheel assembly. Step 2. Assemble the saddle seat. Place the saddle onto the seat on the bike. Adjust the seat height and position for the rider's comfort, and tighten it in place. Put the mountain bike upside down on a level ground, then let's go to the next step. Step 3. Assemble the front wheel. Take apart the axle assembly by unscrewing the nut. Put out the brake protection pad. Put the axle onto the fork. We put the disc and the brake on the same side. Tighten nuts by using your pound 15 wrench. Test whether the front wheel is installed firmly or not. Step 4. Assemble the pedals. Place the correct pedals marked L or R onto the crank arm, and rotate them using the open end wrench until tight. For the right pedal, rotate clockwise to tighten. For the left pedal, rotate counterclockwise. Attention please, use pound 15 open end wrench to tighten the pedals, or the pedal may loose when riding. Step 5. Install the reflectors. Don't forget the reflectors, it will help you keep safe when ride at night.
Thank you for purchasing a Raleigh bike. As you open the box, you'll see there is some assembly required. If you have never built a bike before, this process will probably take you up to 120 minutes. If you are handy with tools, expect to spend around 80 to 100 minutes. If you have done some bike retching before but never actually built a bike, you'll need 60 to 80 minutes. And if you are an expert bike mechanic, you can probably be riding within 30 to 60 minutes. Grab the box containing the small parts and keep these parts handy. You'll need a few tools for assembly, including metric Allen wrenches, bike grease, a tire pump, screwdrivers, wire cutters, and an adjustable wrench. Before you insert the seat post, smear some grease on the post to make installation and adjustments easier, and make sure you push it past the minimum insertion line. Close the quick release or tighten the seat post clamp bolt. You'll know your seat post is tight enough if you can't twist it side to side. Check that your stem is facing forward along with your fork. You may need to turn your fork forward to line them both up. Tighten the two pinch bolts evenly. The wrench should leave an imprint on your palm when it's tight enough. If your stem looks like this, it's called a quill or threaded stem. Grease the body of the quill and the bolt to make inserting and adjustment easy. Push down on the bolt head with your thumb and insert the stem past the minimum insertion line. After aligning the stem and fork forward, snug the bolt down. The wrench should leave an imprint on your palm when the bolts are tight enough. Remove the faceplate bolts and the faceplate, then center your handlebars. Tighten the bolts evenly and snugly, then check to make sure you have an equal gap on the top and bottom. If your bike has quick release axles, remove the plastic caps from the front wheel and slide the quick release through the hub with one conical spring on each side. Grease the threads and thread the nut on loosely. Put the front wheel in the fork, and if the brake caliper is already installed, carefully guide the rotor in between the brake pads, then begin to tighten the quick release. When you close the lever, it should tuck up near the fork leg, and when it's tight enough, the lever will leave an imprint on your palm. If your bike has a through axle, it's probably already installed in the fork. Take it out and place the front wheel in the fork. If the brake caliper is already attached, carefully guide the brake rotor between the brake pads. If your through axle has threads, grease them, push it through the fork and the hub, and turn clockwise to tighten it. When you close the lever, it should leave an imprint on your palm when it's tight enough. Close the lever so it's as close to the fork leg as it can be. As you get your front wheel on, check the back wheel for proper tightness too. Pedals are right and left specific, so be careful as to which pedal goes where. Use a small dab of grease on the threads. The right pedal goes on the side with the chain and threads in clockwise. The left pedal goes on the non-chain side and threads in counterclockwise. Snug your pedals with a pedal wrench or a thin adjustable wrench. For mechanical disc brakes, attach the caliper body loosely to the fork if it's not already on, and guide the rotor carefully in between the brake pads. With the wheel secured, run the cable from the brake arm through the cable housing and through the pinch bolt. Pull the cable taut and tighten the pinch bolt. Next, align the caliper body by hand, visually centering the rotor in between the brake pads. When you can see a gap on both sides of the rotor, tighten the bolts holding the caliper body to the frame. Spin the wheel to test the system, and if there is any rubbing, make adjustments using the bolts you just tightened and adjust as necessary. To adjust your rear derailleur, turn the cranks and shift the chain to the smallest cog in the back. Use the high limit screw to center the derailleur underneath the smallest cog. Undo the pinch bolt and pull the slack out of the cable. While turning the cranks, shift up into the lowest gear. Now you can use the low limit screw to center the derailleur underneath the largest cog. To adjust your front derailleur, shift into the smallest chainring into the front and the largest cog in the back. Use the low limit screw to position the inner plate as close as you can to the chain without touching it. Loosen the pinch bolt to pull the slack out of the cable and retighten. While turning the cranks, shift up into the largest chainring in the front and the smallest cog in the back. Now you can use the high limit screw to position the outer plate of the derailleur as close to the chain as you can without touching it. If your bike has an internal 3-speed hub and it isn't shifting well, you can use the barrel adjuster to tighten or loosen the cable to make it shift properly. Put the shifter in second gear and use the barrel adjuster until the yellow arrow is lined up between the two yellow guidelines. Put the red reflector on the seat post and the white one on your handlebars. Safety first. Cut any extra cable down with your cutters and pinch a cable end on with your pliers to keep the cable from fraying. Finally, pump up your tires following the guidelines on the sidewall of the tire. Before you head out on a ride, double-check the tightness of your seat post and handlebars, and test the brakes to make sure that they'll stop you when you need them.